If you're an entrepreneur or a salesperson, what is a book you should absolutely pick up that'll help you with your clients, standard operating procedures, and even being better at what you do? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live from Honolulu, Oahu on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. Now, I want to give you a heads up. Sometimes the best books in sales and business aren't necessarily books about sales or business. And today, I got the Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande, right? Atul Gawande. And so, if you go through and you take a look at this book and you start thinking in terms of, okay, if I had to put a job description together for a person, how could I put this in checklist form, right? How could I put this in a checklist? If I needed to have a client do paperwork, how could I put this into a checklist? If I needed to scope out a job for a team to do an install, how can I put this in a checklist? And so here's one of the things that you're going to find in business. If you can take your ideas, your process, and then over communicate them on paper and then refine them down to the bare minimum, you're going to be a much better person at what you do. So I coach consultants, I coach entrepreneurs, I coach offer owners, I coach people who buy businesses, and anytime that I create content, I use the processes that I figured out in this book, the Checklist Manifesto. When I work with salespeople, I put my content into a checklist and I figure out what is the easiest way for a salesperson to go through and build out their process if I had to put it to a checklist. It's not a hard read, it's an easy book, right? It's a small book, it's like 8 inches by 5 inches or 6 inches. It's a standard business book trim. It's at 213 pages. You could probably read this in an afternoon if you're fast at reading. You don't have to like super be focused on it and take a ton of notes, but you pick up the Checklist Manifesto, it will make your job for a lot of things that you do a lot easier, especially if you got to communicate with people. Here's the thing, if you're looking to sell your business in the next 0 to 36 months and you would like some help with some exit strategies, you should absolutely reach out to the deal hotline, 888-DEAL-919, 888-DEAL-919 if you're looking to sell in the next 0 to 36 months and you're doing at least $2 million a year in revenue and a 10% profit margin. A member of my team will get back to you. But having a guide to help you build out standard operating procedures, checklists, ideas, strategies will change the way that you communicate. It'll change your sales processes. It'll change the way that you give presentations. It'll change the way that you ask for information. Your best bet in this, I'm going to give you some strategies that are in this book. Your best bet for this is to open a Google Doc, open a Word file or whatever they call it in Apple, and start creating your flow. And then it doesn't have to be perfect. The way that you work this out is you start and just do a brain dump and then cut and paste everything that needs to go. Or you could do super low tech. You could go get some sticky notes. You can grab a bunch of sticky notes and then you can move them around. Or you could grab some 3x5 index cards and then put everything in the order that you need it in, and then go to a Word document, a Google Sheets or a Google document, or whatever Apple's version is that they call their documentation process, and create your checklist. Whatever way that you do it, it really doesn't matter. If you pick up this book, the Checklist Manifesto, right? Pick up the book, Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. Atul Gawande. Like, you should be able to read that. Atul Gawande. I think I bought the book here at Barnes & Noble's. It was like 18 bucks. If you buy it on Amazon, it's like 9. I just couldn't get it here shipped fast enough before the time that I leave. You got one of 3 things to do from here. Just one of 3. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.